Hey, we're back finally. Sorry everyone for the long wait there. Yeah, been so busy. That's pretty much it. Let's get straight into it. So today we've got the trials and hearings, I guess they really are, from Georgia, and we're going to listen to them. Quite interesting. So this guy speaking first is just giving the opening statements. His name is Ray Smith, and he's basically just a lawyer for Trump. All right, let's hear what he has to say.
We're on.
Okay. Good afternoon again. My name is Ray Smith. I am honored to be the lead counsel in Georgia for Donald J. Trump, the President of the United States. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vice Chairman, members of the committee, thank you for hearing us today to consider the issues, problems, concerns, irregularities, violations of the law, potential fraud in the November 3rd, 2020 election in the state of Georgia. This hearing is the tip of the iceberg. We are filing today a petition in the Fulton Superior Court contesting the results of the 2020 presidential election in Georgia. Because of the documented results of the 2020 presidential election in Georgia, because, the irregularities and the abject failure of the Secretary of State of this state and the counties to properly conduct of the election, it is impossible to certify the results of the 2020 presidential election. Normally, in an election contest under Georgia law, the remedy is a new election. That would certainly be possible remedy in the instance, and we are asking the court to order a new election. However, because the presidential election is actually a delegation of your constitutional duties as a legislature, you as a Georgia legislature are the body that is to choose the presidential electors. As you're aware, the United States Constitution states, quote, "Each state shall appoint in such manner as the legislature thereof may direct a number of electors equal to the number, the whole number of senators and representatives to which the state may be entitled in Congress." And in Georgia, of course, that's 16. The United States Constitution, Article
Of course.
2, Section 1. The Georgia legislature has established the election code for the state of Georgia, specifying the time, place, and manner of conducting federal elections, including the 2020 presidential election. But when, as here, the election code was ignored and wholly disregarded, the legislature cannot rely on the results of that.
Those are big claims, right? So you better hope he has the proof for it. Yeah, I mean, watch the rest of the videos and you'll find out, I guess. That's pretty much the only answer.
That flawed process. Congress has provided for that eventuality. Title III of the United States Code, Section 2, provides, whenever any state has held an election for the purpose of choosing electors and has failed to make a choice on the day prescribed by law, the electors may be appointed on a subsequent day in such a manner as the legislature of such state may direct, end of quote. In other words, because the November 3rd, 2020 general election was so fraught with error, violations of law, lack of uniformity across the state, it is the legislature that must choose the presidential electors, exactly as specified in the United States Constitution, federal law, and the Georgia Constitution of the state. Our election contest petition that we are filing today cites multiple violations of the election code of the state, several of which by themselves would reverse the outcome of this election. The margin of ostensible victory for former Vice President Biden is approximately 12,500 ballots. I say approximately because the margin has changed several times and is likely change again as a result of the current ongoing
statute. So let's have a look here. I think I opened it up before. Okay, so we've got the U.S. election results. Over here, we've got Georgia. So Biden is at 2473. Holy shit. And Trump is at 2.461. Holy shit. So that's a total difference of 11,779. Wow. Okay, so this guy has to prove that more than 12,000 votes went to Biden when they actually should have gone to Trump. 12,000. That's not very fucking many. That's not very fucking many at all. Can he do it? I don't know. Can he prove any of this stuff? We'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
Recount. But we do know that the margin is less than 0.5% of the millions of votes cast in the presidential election in Georgia this year. What we are presenting to the court and to you today as the Georgia legislature are facts. Facts. 2,506 felons voted illegally in Georgia. 66,248 underage and therefore ineligible people to illegally register to vote.
Okay, so we've already passed that 12,000 figure. Now, these numbers here, he is saying just, according to him, they're worth nothing. These votes should be discounted. Now, at no point does it ever get said whether these are Biden votes or Trump votes. They're a mix, and it never gets said how much of a mix. No percentages or anything like that. So keep that in mind. This number at the bottom here, it's not reflecting either side. It's just saying this many votes need to be disregarded. Okay, that does not mean Trump's going to win. That does not mean Biden's going to win. It doesn't mean anything towards them, really.
Before their 17th birthday, when the law requires 17 and a half years old. At least 2,423 individuals to vote who were not listed as registered. 1,043 individuals to cast ballots who had illegally registered to vote using a post office box. 4,926 individuals voted in Georgia who had registered to vote after their Georgia voter registration date, thereby canceling their Georgia voter registration. 10,315 or more individuals to vote who are deceased by the time of the election. 395 individuals to vote in Georgia who had cast ballots in another state, which is illegal in both states. 15,700 individuals to vote in Georgia who had filed a national change of address with the United States Postal Service prior to November 3rd, 2020. 40,279 individuals to vote who had moved across county lines at least 30 days prior to Election Day and who had failed to properly re-register to vote in their new county after moving, also in violation of Georgia law. The petition for contest will include affidavits of more than 100 Georgia voters sworn under penalty of perjury, attesting to...
So that number there, that 143, again, that doesn't mean that Trump has won or that Biden's won. Again, that is just the number that has to get cut away. So don't be seeing that number and celebrating either way, because it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything.
Contest will include affidavits of more than 100.
Yet. It's not significant yet. It's just saying these need to be taken away. According to him. Sorry for pausing so much.
100.
Got to be very specific with these things.
Georgia voters sworn under penalty of perjury, attesting to and confirming multiple violations of the Georgia Election Code. You will hear from several of those witnesses today. And then we have the issue of outright lies and potential fraud. The actual results of legal ballots cast in the November 3rd, 2020 election in compliance with the Georgia Election Code cannot be known ever. Not by the Secretary of State, not by the governor downstairs, not by the voting public, and not by this Georgia legislature. That is why the election must be vacated and cannot be allowed to stand. and that is why the Georgia legislature must exercise and fulfill its duties under the United States Constitution, the Georgia Constitution, and Georgia law. The Georgia legislature must appoint the presidential electors to meet on December 14th, 2020. That is your duty to the people of Georgia and to the United States. You must determine the presidential electors.
Yeah, so that's quite bold. It's a very fucking out there, pumped up kind of opening statement. I mean, we'll see in the later videos to come whether or not he's bullshitting or not, or whether or not he's actually telling the truth. But those numbers are quite large. Definitely enough to turn the election in Georgia. Does not mean it's going to happen everywhere else, but I mean, those numbers are significant enough to make a difference there. So, yeah, stay tuned. And the video I got coming next is probably the one everyone's seen already. It's the video camera evidence of them moving votes around. And don't forget, like, subscribe, share it around. All right, see you in the next one.